Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ, where we help you lead with purpose and succeed with impact. If you're ready to grow into the kind of leader others want to follow, this podcast is for you. If you're determined to elevate your success and leave a lasting legacy, this podcast is for you. As my mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell reminds us, everything rises and falls on leadership. Our goal is simple: to inspire you, challenge you, and equip you with insights that can transform the trajectory of your leadership journey. Welcome aboard to another episode of the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.
Okay, let me try this again. Welcome everyone to a special edition of the Leadership and Success Podcast. This is Coach BZ. I am really overjoyed. We have a great guest waiting for us right now in the green room. Before I bring her in, let's start with our daily moment of gratitude. So every time we meet here on the Leadership and Success Podcast, we really like to take just a moment to be grateful. And part of the reason why we do this is because you cannot be suicidal, right? And depressed and be grateful at the very same time. As you guys know, in the military, it's about 22 service member and veteran who commit suicide every single day. So if you would maybe close your eyes, take a deep breath, put yourself in your happy place, and think about one thing you are grateful for right now. And I think today I am really grateful that we do stand on the shoulders of giants. As you know, on this podcast, we are continuing to celebrate Black History Month. So I am calling it Black History Year because 28 days is not long enough to really speak about the greatness, all of the things that African Americans have done to build this country and make America what it is today, right? And again, I highly recommend this book, African American First. Famous, little known, and unsung triumph of Blacks in America. And I am so grateful for it. So let us know where you are joining us from. It looks like we have Daniel Young here from Maitland, Florida. Thank you. And also let us know what you are grateful for. And of course, if you got a question from my guest, go ahead and type it in the comments. So I'm going to use my AI twin to do the introduction of my guest. And the next person you are going to see is going to be MAJ Rickia McGee. So here we go. I'm going to let my AI twin take over.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ, where we bring you inspiring conversations with leaders who are making a difference in their communities, professions, and around the world. Today, I'm honored to welcome a remarkable leader who truly embodies what I like to call the scholar-warrior mindset. Joining us is MAJ Rickia McGee, Doctor of Physical Therapy, United States Army National Guard officer, and passionate advocate for leadership, mentorship, and lifelong learning. MAJ McGee currently serves at the National Guard Bureau, where she supports operational planning and logistics readiness for the Army National Guard. Over the course of her military career, she has led soldiers in multiple leadership roles, including serving as company commander of Headquarters and Headquarters Company, 927th Combat Sustainment Support Battalion, where she was responsible for leading soldiers and managing millions of dollars in equipment while maintaining mission readiness during challenging operations. Beyond her operational leadership, MAJ McGee represents the next generation of multidimensional leaders. She holds a Master of Public Health from the University of Florida, is pursuing a Doctor of Physical Therapy at the University of Southern California, and has also earned cybersecurity certifications including CompTIA Security Plus and CISA Plus, demonstrating a commitment to lifelong learning and national service. She is deeply passionate about mentorship, representation, and developing the next generation of leaders, believing that leadership is not only about mission success, but about lifting others as we climb. Today, we're going to explore her journey, the lessons she has learned in uniform and beyond, and what it truly means to lead with resilience, purpose, and service. So please join me in welcoming MAJ Rickia McGee to the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ. Rickia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, MAJ McGee, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay, let's see here. I think it's
Yeah,
because of the background. Let me take that background off.
yeah. That's one thing that happens when you do a live show,
It's supposed to.
and it
I
looks like
don't.
you already have a whole bunch of fans who are listening to us live right now.
Yes, looks like it's supposed to. It has a background on there, but I don't have
Hmm.
a background selected, so I don't know why that's
Let's
showing.
see. If you click on the setting
Yes,
under video, do you see your camera video input?
yes. Okay, let's see here.
Here we
There.
go.
Can you see me
Yay.
now?
Yeah, yeah.
Great, perfect,
All right. So,
perfect, perfect.
like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the one and only MAJ McGee. All right.
Thank you for the
So,
introduction. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
fantastic. So, to get started, what is one thing you are grateful for today, Major?
Oh, that's easy. One thing I'm grateful for today, and every day, honestly, is just my health.
Yes.
I am an avid sports like fan. I love to
Mhm.
run. I love to be outside. I love to be active. So to have the ability to be able to use my body for fitness and
Yes.
to accomplish goals, like I am just super, super, super grateful for my health. So I have to say that.
That is really, really wonderful. Like I was saying, there's already a whole lot of activities there from YouTube and LinkedIn. I think you know all of these people. And I think one of them said they are your cousin or something. But
Yes.
anyway, this is going to be a fun show. What is something about you that most people may not know?
One thing about me that most people may not know and some people may not believe is I am actually shy.
Really?
Yes, I don't like a lot of attention. And when I'm around people, especially people that I'm comfortable with, I have no problem with, being silly. I have no problem with being
Yes.
an extrovert and boisterous, but I'm truly a shy person, honestly.
Wow. Okay. That is very difficult to believe because
I know.
you really have accomplished so much in so many industry. I guess to get started, why did you join the U.S. Army? What inspired you to serve?
So honestly, when I first joined the army, I had no clue what I was doing. I had
Wow.
no reference in my family outside of on my father's side. I have an aunt that served like way before I was
Hmm.
even maybe like a child. And so outside of her, I had no reference for serving the military. So I'm in college and I run into the issue of needing to pay for school. And I
Hmm.
thought, I'm a first generation college student. I don't
Wow.
know much about the financial aid process. I don't know how to get scholarships or grants. And I see a sign on one of the walls, I believe, in one of the common areas on our
Hmm.
university's campus, and it said join RLTC. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, I've heard of RLTC. I'm sure I could go do that. I mean, they march around. It seems
Yes.
pretty straightforward. Let me go join ROTC, not equating that with the actual military, like the actual
Hmm.
army. So I go and I pretty much say, hey, where do I sign up? You guys are giving college money, correct? Like, how do I get on board?
Wow.
And they pretty much put me through the ringer. and gave me a physical fitness test. They saw that I could pass a physical fitness test without any preparation, and they were like, "Yep, we want you."
Yes. Now,
What's
people
your
may
answer?
not know you were actually a champion when you were in high school, weren't you? Basketball. That's pretty amazing.
Oh my goodness. So yes, that is a picture from my high school basketball team where I
Wow.
played all well 3 years there and 1 year at another school. But yeah, so I essentially
Amazing.
happenstance upon our ROTC program, and literally the rest is history.
Yeah, that is quite amazing. And there are so many people proud of you listening right now live on LinkedIn or YouTube,
Yeah.
which is pretty amazing. Oh, actually, and Daniel has our first question from the audience. He says, "It's an honor in the army. You are taught that infrastructure isn't just gear; it's the trust between the ranks. Love seeing a leader who understands that a safe haven is for soldier." Actually, that's just a comment. Or all right. So when you joined the army, was there maybe a moment that would define your leadership going forward?
A moment that would define my leadership going forward.
The
So when
way.
I joined, like I said, I was in ROTC for approximately like 3.5, almost 4 years. And so the ROTC experience in itself is a unique one, and it shaped how I viewed
Yes.
the army. But I believe like going into my first unit, I went into a forward support company in the military, which is a version of a logistics unit,
Hmm.
or a logistics element. I'm sorry. And we were attached to an infantry unit. And, I had heard about the infantry guys. They were the rough and tough, the boots on the ground, the first
Yes.
one in, last one out. And so, I think what defined that moment was getting there and watching. I actually was watching a young officer at the time, a captain, who seemed so much higher in rank than me at that time,
Yeah.
lead the company, and just standing up there with such confidence. And I remember being a lieutenant, shaking in my boots in front of my platoon, and I'm just like, like, and like there was this moment of just imposter syndrome that sunk in
Hmm.
like into me. And I don't know if my platoon sergeant was able to catch on to that, but after we got out of that formation, my platoon sergeant at the time came to me and literally just said, "Ma'am, I know that it's a lot, but I got you." Like
Yes.
literally never meeting me prior to that drill
Hmm.
weekend, but came up to me, noticed like this young officer feeling like super lost,
Overwhelmed.
but
Yeah.
said, "Ma'am, I got you. If you trust me, I got you. If you lean on your NCOs, we got you." And I
Yes.
thought that was amazing, because you don't know me at all, but we have a
Wow.
common purpose here, and that's to lead the soldiers and to do what
Hmm.
we can do as leaders. And that really helped me like
Wow.
understand, like, okay, wow, I don't need to know everything right now.
That's
So
really
yeah.
amazing because you went from that to serving as a company commander, which is a huge responsibility. Responsible for soldiers and millions of dollars
Yes.
worth of equipment. I think sometimes people in the industry they don't really understand the responsibility we have as young officers in the military. But what
Yes.
leadership lesson did command teach you that every leader should know? You think?
So I would say, wow, company command is a very interesting time frame, and you learn a ton of lessons in a very short time. But
Hmm.
what I say that command taught me is that leadership is a privilege and it's a
Yes.
great responsibility. You are genuinely in charge of America's sons and daughters, and when they
Yes.
show up, they are looking to you to be able to take them
Hmm.
where like pretty much they need to go. And so as a company commander, and even as a person, one thing I do like kind of swear by is that, influence, the concept of influence and impact. And I believe that impact is more important than influence, but it's your
Yes.
influence that basically shapes what your impact is going to be long term. So I feel that if you use your influence properly, the impact
Hmm.
that you're going to have astronomical.
Wow. Now you are in the U.S. Army National Guard. I guess it kind
Yes.
of plays a very unique role supporting both national defense, especially after 9/11 during the global war on terror. You guys pretty much played, at the strategic level of our national defense. But then you also play into domestic mission like disaster relief and things like that. So,
Yes.
what leadership qualities are most important when leading soldiers during crisis operations? You think?
So I would say in crisis situations, what I think is most important in those situations is being able to like clearly communicate like one what the mission is, what needs to be
Mm,
done, and understanding your environment, understanding the resources that you're working with or the lack thereof,
yes.
understanding the people to the left and the right with to the left and the right of you, but most of all being compassionate like
Mm,
in those situations, because we get put in situations specifically like for the state of Florida, which is where I'm from, and most of
yes.
my disaster relief has been attached to the Florida National Guard and hurricane season. And so
Mm,
you see people in their most vulnerable like states, whether that be your
yes.
soldiers or the people that you're helping in the community. And so
Mhm.
your soldiers have families at home who possibly are suffering from the hurricane, but yet
Yes.
they're here with you. They're here to follow behind
Mm.
you. And so for me, you have to take a step back and say, okay, I know what needs to get done, but I also have to take care of my soldiers. They have
Yes.
families who possibly are in these precarious predicaments, and I have to keep their mind trained on the mission, but also know that I'm here to support them as well. So I think
Yes.
that's one of the biggest things for me.
Wow. That is quite powerful. Now that you are a major O4, what advice would you give to the O1 and O2, so I guess second and first lieutenant who just got started? Kind of like you said, right? When you first started yourself, you had kind of had that imposter syndrome. And I know it's a very awesome responsibility your country really puts on your shoulder. But what would you advise a brand new second lieutenant when they are just getting started in the Army or the National Guard?
So I would say if I was speaking to a young, like a young lieutenant, and
Mhm.
even like a junior captain, just saying like you don't have to come in to and immediately know everything. One, you don't have
Yes.
to know everything. That is not your job. If you actually realize how your leadership sees you, they almost expect you not to know everything. And so we have this desire, or I know I did at the company command level, to
Mhm.
come in and show what I know right off of the bat. I used to hear a phrase volunteer often and early,
Yes.
and sometimes the cart gets before the horse, and you're volunteering and you're putting yourself in situations where you might not be the most knowledgeable. So sometimes
Mhm.
it's okay to step back, be a sponge, lean on those senior NCOs, lean on those other officers to kind of teach you the things that
Yes.
you don't know, and draw from their experiences. Like a lot of these NCOs have been in well before you've even had a career as a young officer. And so a
Mhm.
lot of times just leaning on them and just realizing, hey, I'm not here to be, the top dog immediately. I'm here to
Yes.
learn, and I'm here to also
Mm.
put forth, what I know is my best skill set. So number one, you don't have to know everything. It's
Yes.
okay if you don't know everything, but as long as you know where to go to get that information, I
Mhm.
think that's half of the battle.
That is so powerful. Yeah, because it's true that the best leaders are really the best followers too, right? And it is okay to learn and to say, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Leading with humility. Earlier, you said leading with compassion. I think that's really, to me, kind of like the essence of leadership. Now, when I advertise this podcast, I think one of the line I use is the scholar warrior. And the reason why I say that is your career span logistics, right, in the Army, public health,
Yes.
cybersecurity, technology, of course, sports, and now you are about to become a doctor of physical therapy. That's just
Yes,
amazing.
yes,
So,
yes. Thank
what
you.
motivated you to pursue such a multidisciplinary path?
Uh, the actual just direct answer is because I felt like I could.
Wow.
My mother used to tell me all the time, and now she laughs at that phrase. She used to say to me all the time, "You can't do everything. You have to pick something."
Yes.
But I never believed that. I'm like, if I'm interested enough in it, if I'm passionate
Yes.
about it, if I can go learn about it, I'm going to put it in my toolbox. And so
Wow.
I grew up loving technology. I still to this day love technology. I loved computers. I love all of the new gadgets. I loved learning how things
Mm-hmm.
work. And so the technology piece and the cybersecurity and that all came more recent
Mm-hmm.
because I just realized, especially with COVID, just how cybersecurity and the technology world in general has just been revolutionizing over the last few years. And so I
Yes.
took a liking to it. I started pursuing some certificates on the side, and that's how I went through that lane. But then
That's
public
amazing.
health, public health was my master's because I knew I wanted to be in the health field in some way. But then I realized, this is not enough. I need to be able to
Yes.
do more. I need to get more hands on. What else do I like to do? I love sports. I love
Uh,
helping and healing people. And
yes.
I seen firsthand how physical therapy improve the life and conditions of my own family members, and just me being an athlete and being somewhat in that realm, having physical therapy
Yes.
myself. I was like, I can do this. Like, what's I'm like, where do I have to get? Where do I
That's
have to go? What do I
amazing.
have to do? And I just literally applied. I applied one random cycle, and I actually had in my mind like, it's okay if I don't get in this the first time around. I'll just wait
Yes.
until the next cycle and I'll just keep applying. I got in on the first cycle. I got
Wow.
in on the first cycle, my first application process, and I was like, okay, we're doing it. Like, and so that's how I literally
Yes.
jump into things. I go head first. If I believe I can do it, I'm gonna pursue it. And I have no
Man,
real rhyme or reason. It's just
that's
I'm gonna do
amazing.
it.
What happened right here? It's a very special moment.
Oh, yes. This is my actual white coat ceremony. So, this is the
Amazing.
day that we took our oath as physical therapy students. And it was a very special moment for me because being like in the midst of like almost like what 100 total other students
Mm-hmm.
with my parents there, and it was just like a moment where it's just like, am I really here? Somebody pinch me, the girl from a small town in Florida, me, the
Yes.
girl who's a first generation college student, like, am I really here? Like, this is
Yes.
crazy. So that's kind of how I felt. It
Well,
was a surreal moment for me.
Tiffany says you always set a goal and achieved it, and you are so inspiring to watch, and that is
Mm.
so true. That's why
Thank
it's
you,
really such a
friend.
great honor and privilege to be speaking to you today, because I think many times, especially for people of color and women, it's very difficult for you to have dreams, right? To try to be somebody when you've never seen somebody who looks like you, who's ever
Absolutely.
been at that level. So many times, all of the achievement, things that you are doing right now, it's really not for you, but it's for a lot of the women who are going to be uh, you know, walking behind you, right? And
Yes.
that is so important. So I guess another question I want to ask is. Many professionals they feel a lot of pressure to specialize in only one field. How has combining multiple disciplines strengthen your leadership and decision making, you think?
So I feel that like each field that I've studied in or pursued some type of higher education in, it's helped me just by way of being versatile. One thing
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself on is my versatility, my ability to move around in different rooms, be able to have different conversations with people, be able to
Yes.
relate to people on different levels, not just about the military, but about what's going on in the world, what's going on in the technology field. And so for
Mm-hmm.
me, I feel like one, I use those a lot of times as conversation starters. Sometimes I run into people and I don't really necessarily know what I have in common with them. We get to talking about our backgrounds, our careers, and I'm like, oh
Yes.
yeah, I've done that. I've done that. Oh, I'm pursuing this. I'm pursuing
Yes.
this.
That's
You did
amazing.
this. So I think it just helps me, one, just it helps me to have a broader spectrum of knowledge that I can draw from.
Mm.
I have a saying that I say like a lot to my friends. I'm like, I might not know a lot, but I know a lot about a little bit. So
Wow, that's
if my
powerful.
little pockets of, hey, I know about this, I know about this, and I can
Yes.
be able to expand on that knowledge and relate to others in different fields, that's how it's
Mm.
helped me. It's really helped me just be able to acquire connections and broaden my network from people of
Yes.
all different walks of life outside of the military. So, mhm.
So that is really powerful. For example, all of your tech achievement, right? You are certified CISA, which is and Security X, no CISA Plus and Security Plus. That is a
Yes.
lot of industry certification, and there are people who actually like in the information warfare field, like I am. They are required to have those cert, and it's very difficult for them to do. And here you're doing physical therapies, you are doing logistic, you are doing all of it. What would you tell to somebody who's struggling right now? It's like they have to become Security Plus certified, or the Navy might kick them out of their IT rate or something. What would you tell them to keep on going and to find a way to maybe pass those exams, because they are not easy?
So people often use the phrase like remember your why,
Mm-hmm.
and it, as cliche and as generic as it may sound, when even myself, when I'm studying late at night and I've been at work all
Wow.
day and I come home and I spend 4 or 5 or 6 hours outside of
Mm,
the workplace studying for a certification,
yes.
studying for an exam that I have coming up, or 3 exams that I have in the same week. And
Wow.
sometimes I'm like, I think I say to myself, like, why are you putting yourself through this? And then I
You are
start to circle back.
crazy. My goodness. Wow.
I hear that all the time, honestly. And it's like, I say to myself, why are you doing this? But
Mm,
it's something very similar to what you stated in the beginning. I
yes.
truly stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
My background, the family that I come from, my ancestors, those who have come before me, the
Mm-hmm.
opportunities that I am presented today, they could only imagine or dream of. So I think to
Yes.
myself, how dare you have these resources before you, literally
Mm,
sometimes at your fingertips. You can go on YouTube. I learned a lot of things
yeah.
on YouTube for cybersecurity, a lot of things. I took a
Yes.
lot of free classes on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, how dare you like not take advantage of it? So for me, it's circle back to your why. When the nights
Mm,
get hard, when you're tired, you're exhausted, and you feel like
yes.
I can't go anymore, go one more. Just go one more.
Wow.
Go one more hour, go one more minute, and you
That's
you just continue
powerful.
to push yourself. You just continue to push yourself. So,
I think one phrase you said, I am assuming Still I Rise by Maya Angelou is one of your favorite poem, is it?
yes.
Okay. Because something you said, it really breaks me every time I hear it. She says, leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. In a daybreak
Yes,
that's wondrously clear, I rise. And then she says, bringing the gift that my ancestors gave. When I read this,
absolutely.
my heart just breaks. I have to stop. I want to cry. I am the dream and the hope of a slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Wow, if that's not inspirational, I don't know what inspiration is.
Absolutely.
Wow. So, does your work then in physical therapy and human performance, do you think it contributes to improving soldiers' readiness and resilience as well as a major in the army?
Oh, absolutely. If anything, I think it made me. So we in the military, well, in the army specifically, we have a like a special assignment that you can have, or it's a special identifier that you can have
Hmm.
attached to you, which is called a master fitness trainer. I am a
Wow.
certified master fitness trainer for the military.
Awesome.
And when I first went to master fitness training, I wasn't in school for physical therapy as of yet.
Hmm.
And when you get there, you learn all about exercise,
Wow.
learn about the holistic like value of all these things: sleep readiness, physical readiness, nutritional readiness. And so
Mm,
when I started to actually get into physical therapy school and learning these things on the most intensive level, I can genuinely program. Like I have soldiers who, and when I was in a company commander, they were struggling with their physical fitness. I could
hmm.
go in, make a plan now,
Wow.
and I have people email me, "Hey, can you make me a plan? Can you?
Yes.
I'm trying to get ready for the PT test. I need to pass the next PT test."
Yes.
I've been able to do those things, but also just
Wow.
not give them a workout plan, but
Hmm.
also give them things such as like, hey, this is how you better your sleep hygiene. This is
Hmm.
what you can do to eat better. By no means am I a nutritionist, but
Yes.
just the general concepts of taking care of your body,
Wow.
taking care of your, like people say, your body's like, you're supposed to be a well-oiled machine, and you have to
Yes.
treat it as such. And so my knowledge now from the physical therapy realm has revolutionized that,
Man.
because I really feel like there's so many things I know now about how the
Yes.
body works. When it breaks, what
Wow.
can you do? And I'm always trying to talk to soldiers about that. I'm always inviting those conversations. So I think it's helped
Man.
a ton. A ton. It has helped a lot.
That is really, really awesome. And we have Millie saying, yes, so proud of you.
Oh,
And
thank you. Thank you so
Ricky
much.
says, Kia, I guess from Rickia. Kia is Black History. All
Thank
right.
you.
You
Thank you
are
so much.
walking in your purpose, keep shining. That is so right. Now, uh, we did have our first question from the internet. Okay. Daniel
Okay.
Young says, Major, in the context of season 5, episode 54, I guess this is the episode now. How do
Yes.
you maintain the operational integrity of your team's morale when the external fairness of the mission gets high? How do you keep the human firewall from burning out under pressure? So,
Oh,
when things get tough, how do you keep your team on mission?
that is a good question. So I believe one is finding ways, and sometimes it has to be creative depending on the operational environment,
Mm-hmm.
finding ways to take a knee. And sometimes taking
Mm,
a knee doesn't necessarily mean you can go and lie down, you can go and rest. Sometimes it's pulling soldiers to the side, giving them that motivational
yes.
talk, giving them that motivational time, or letting that soldier, if you see a soldier struggling, you see a group of soldiers struggling, giving them the freedom to say, hey, you need to take a walk, go take a walk. You need to go
Yes.
take 15 minutes or 20 minutes to yourself. I'll find somebody to rotate in, and
Mm,
you go do your thing. It's being able to, one, recognize when you have to pay attention to see when
yes.
a soldier is getting to that point that they need to take a step back. And so it's your
Mm,
job as a leader to manage your people. So a part of
yes.
managing your people is also knowing when to take a knee, to make adjustments, to change out
Wow.
personnel, and even for you to step in and show them like, hey, I too am having a hard time, but guess what?
Yes.
I'm right here with you. I'm not going to ask anything of you that I won't do. I'm not going to expect anything from you that I don't expect from myself. So I
Mm,
think what's important is just being able to, in a way, read the room and know when, hey, we need a timeout here.
wow.
We need a timeout here. So
That is really, really powerful. Now, you do make success look very easy, but I'm sure you've been challenged at times, right? Because leadership does involve navigating adversity from time to time. So,
yes.
if you are willing to, what has been one of the most challenging moments in your career, and what did it teach you about resilience?
Oh my goodness. I have stories for days. So I'll say one one thing that kind of stands out to me is I remember being this is more so when I was a young lieutenant. I remember being in
Hmm.
a unit, and I was having a real struggle with finding my voice when it came to expressing just my thought process and my plans for the mission to my leadership. And
Hmm.
it was some struggles with leadership there, and we weren't necessarily on the same page. And so it was one of those things where I had to figure out, how can I communicate what I feel is best, not only for my soldiers, but for the mission, when
Mm,
this person outranks me. This person's
yes.
say so is like the final, so like the final say so, like what do I do in this situation? And so I
Wow.
kind of toil with that, and knowing when to speak up and knowing when to like trust that what I felt. Sometimes leaders have
Hmm.
blind spots, and that's something I try to remind myself too. Sometimes you have a blind
Yes.
spot and you're not able to really see the full picture.
Hmm.
And so back in that particular unit, I really struggled with that. And honestly, I'm a person of faith, and I rely heavily on my faith. So a lot of
Yes.
praying, a lot of just trusting that God was going to give me the strength that I needed to do what I needed
Mm,
to do, and being able to go back to that where my first my platoon sergeant told me, hey, if you
yes.
need me, lean on me, I got you, I'm gonna back you up. When you have
Yes.
a good strong solid NCO that's gonna stand behind you and
Mm,
say, I'm with her. I trust her.
Yes.
And then when you have soldiers who show you that they're gonna follow you because of how you've led in the past,
Mm-hmm.
that really gave me confidence to go and
Wow.
say, hey, sir, and obviously approach the leadership in the right way and say, hey, sir, I'm confident in this. I know that if we do it this way, it's gonna work
Yes.
out well. I may not have been the person who's been here the longest, but I do
Yes.
feel I'm confident in what I know. And
Wow.
so I struggled with that, but having the proper people behind me, and like I said, having God just strengthen me in those moments, it really helped me kind of overcome that obstacle. So,
And that is really powerful because you often emphasize perseverance and faith in your
mhm,
leadership philosophy. I believe your favorite verse is Jeremiah 29:11, right? For I
absolutely.
know the plan I have for you, declares the
Mhm.
Lord, plan of to prosper you and not harm you, plan to give you hope and a future.
Yes.
How have those principles guided you during difficult season of leadership?
Uh, Knowing that the Lord said specifically in that verse, because I know the plans I have for you. They're already laid out, they're already
Hmm.
paved. What you're going through now is the process. You can't necessarily see the end. You can see the path, but you can't really see that he's already worked it out at the end.
Yes.
And for me, it's just knowing that, the path is going to get hard sometimes. The path is going to get
Hmm.
rugged. Sometimes it's going to get so noisy that you're not going to know what to focus on. And everything might not go as planned along the way. But in the end, the result is going to be what he's promised you, because you know what he's
Mm,
promised you. You know what he has for you. You know that it's something that's good, and a hope for the
yes.
future. So just trusting that. So
Wow.
for me, in the days where I'm like, it looks bad now, it feels bad now, it feels uncomfortable, but I know I
Mhm.
trust you enough to know that what you have for me at the end, I may not be able to see it all right now, but I know it's going to work out in my favor. So,
Wow. All right, we've got more comment. We have Millie says yes, so proud of you, and Rachel says Kia is one, and I've never met anyone who can also match at one time and shows fully for everyone in her life, such an inspiration to us all. Wow, you are a certified body, they say, and reading the room is key. That is so powerful. No, it is one thing for you to tell the world who you are, but it's really so much powerful when you have so many other people who confirm that yes, indeed, that is who you are, and that's the impact you're having on their life. To me, that's real leadership. Now, many leaders today they do struggle with burnout and with stress. You did mention that earlier. What
mhm.
practices help you stay mentally and physically strong as a leader?
For me, it's fitness. It's physical fitness. It's
Yes.
working out. It's taking that time to pour back into my own body, to pour back into my own self.
Mm,
And as of late, I have become like I don't know, I've joined the running club. I'm one of those
yes.
people who are gonna start doing marathons for fun. I just did my
Wow.
first marathon. I just did my
Congratulations.
first marathon. I'm sorry, I just did my first race, a 5K, a few weeks ago, and I remember just feeling like this is not bad. I can do this. This makes me feel good. And so
Wow.
for me, fitness, working out, getting in the gym, moving my body, that's how I pour back into myself, as well as my faith, attending
Yes.
church, watching sermons, reading my Bible. Those things
Mm,
pour back into me. Like that helps to refill my cup. Like taking care of my
powerful.
spiritual body and my physical body.
Wow. Very, very inspirational. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, I also know that you are quite passionate about mentorship and representation, especially in leadership spaces. No, I think we're seeing more and more women now in position of leadership, but I think not enough. But it's getting a little bit better. So, why is mentorship so important to you, especially in the military and the professional world today?
Yeah, that's a good question. I really believe that no one succeeds alone. Like it's impossible. We are not meant to do life alone. And I know for a fact that mentorship accelerates growth.
Mm,
I know that prior to, like, when I was a junior lieutenant, I didn't really know how to reach out for a mentor. I didn't know the importance of a mentor. I didn't know how I could utilize a mentor to help with my career. But as I became a captain and I started having people actually asked to be my mentor, or I just kind of told
Mm,
them, hey, you're going to be a mentor for me because I like the way you
yes.
lead. I realized how much when you have someone who's been where you want to go, or they're in a position that you eventually want to get in, you
Yes.
essentially have a cheat code. You have a book that you could
Mm,
reference. And like I said, growing up as a first generation college student, I didn't have a reference. Now I have
yes.
references in the military to look to, who can help me see what the path could look like for me, and even give me those lessons learned, like, hey, I did this, don't do that, that's not going to
Hmm.
get you far, or do this is what's gotten me where I am today. And so I feel like
Wow.
you can't do these things alone. You need to, if you're the smartest person in the room, that's the wrong answer. Like
Yes.
I that is the wrong answer. I love being around like I'm young, I'm a young officer, so I'm oftentimes around a lot of senior officers, especially in age and in rank. And
Hmm.
so I hearing their experiences, they don't know that even in regular common day conversations, they're mentoring me. So I just
Yes.
believe that you need to be able to experience that
Mm.
as much and as often as you possibly can.
That is so powerful. Okay, we only have about 20 minutes left, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to our last segment where I try to get into your mindset and try to understand the leadership principle you've followed to get as much success as you've had, and hopefully we can apply those too. So, one of the questions I'd like to ask is, what do you believe is the greatest lesson you have ever learned in life, in leadership in general?
So what I believe, and it sounds really simple, but it's a quote that I actually have on the
Hmm.
back of, it's at my desk, and I see it every day when I
Wow.
when I go in. It says, tough times don't last always, tough
Mm,
people do. Tough
wow.
times don't last always, tough people do. And that is a continual reminder for me that there are
Yes.
going to be times in your life, there has been times in my life where I felt like, wow, this is really heavy. This is a lot. I don't know how
Yes.
much more I can take. I don't
Mm,
know if I can continue like this. And then I look back on those moments now, and that's not my reality now. That was, it
yes.
seems so long ago. It seems
Yes.
so in my rear view. But
Wow.
like they say, if you're here today, you've survived 100% of your hardest days, which means
Mm,
that you can do it. You can keep
yes.
going,
Yes.
and you
Wow.
have it within you. And so for me, it's like the tough times didn't last always, but it made me tough, and I'm still here. So I think that's the greatest lesson I've learned in life.
That is really amazing. Now, you've had success again, like we said, in multiple disciplines, right? You were pretty much a national champion in high school. And then in the military, you are now a major and about to
Yes.
become a doctor. On top of that, you also find time to get a bunch of certification in cyber security and technology. So, what do you believe is the secret to your success? Why are you so successful, you think?
Outside of God, which I think is just the overarching
Hmm.
theme, um, I believe that I've been so successful because of my grit and my resilience. Like
Mm,
my ability to be able to bite down, bear down, and even when my capacity is almost like to its peak,
hmm.
like I said earlier, my ability to just go one more, my ability to put the other
Wow.
foot in front of the other, to continue trucking, to knowing that this is temporary pain for
Yes.
an eternal pleasure, if you will. So
Wow.
I think that being being able to just bear down in those hard times has really been a driving force for me to just keep going, keep pushing, to handle the things that I handle,
Yes.
because I do believe that it's not for everybody to kind of live their lives in this way, but I've
Mhm.
been able to do it for so long, and it's been working. So I think it's just
Yes.
resilience, resilience, resilience. Like
Wow.
the will has to be greater, like than whatever you're facing. So
That is so, so powerful. Another comment, yes, doctor of physical therapy, so proud of you
Dr.
and how you show up in your many roles. That is so powerful. Wow. Learners, what are you learning these days?
What am I learning these days? So this actually ties into a book that I just finished probably like towards the end of last year. I
Mm-hmm.
have like a good amount of books that I could probably recommend, but this one is kind of shaping the way I'm moving through life right now. And it's a book by Mel Robbins, and it's called Let Them.
Yeah.
I am a recovering people pleaser, and in a past life, I hate to see the people that I love disappointed. I hate to see the people
Yes.
that I care about, or even the people who I respect, looking at me in a way that's not like desirable.
Mm-hmm.
However, once reading that book, like it kind of was freeing for me because it helped me to realize, like, let them, like, let people feel
Yes.
what they feel. Let people mistake you for whatever they may mistake you for. Let people
Mm-hmm.
assume. Let people like something about you, not like something about you. Let them.
Yes.
That's their
Yes.
problem. It's not yours to manage
Wow.
other people's emotions. You just continue to show up the best that you can, and whatever
Hmm.
happens outside of you and outside of your control, let them. That's what I'm learning.
That is so powerful. Yeah, that is quite a philosophy that is that could literally be life changing. Actually, my wife gave me that book as a gift this past
Nice.
Christmas.
Nice.
It is all green, and I really love it. It's really quite kind of like a different ways, right, of really looking at life and really changing your mindset. It is quite powerful. So yes, I do encourage
Yes.
everybody in the audience to get a copy of this one, The Let Them Fury by Mel Robbins. And I think Sawyer Robbins, I believe, is Mel's daughter. But it's
Yes, she
been
is.
a number one New York Times best-selling book for a very, very long time. A life-changing tool that millions of people can stop talking about. Wow, so powerful.
Yes.
Nick, can I ask you, was there maybe a moment in your life where the opinion of other didn't have such a big hold on on your life anymore, where you didn't feel like you had to please everybody, but you could just focus on your own goal and your own plan?
Oh, absolutely. So prior to I relocated to the DMV area from Florida,
Mm-hmm.
where I spent my entire career. And there was this sense of like a loyalty to the life I had there, a loyalty
Mm-hmm.
to my family being there, a loyalty to
Yes.
the organizations there that I had worked with, and I built such a
Mm-hmm.
rapport and reputation there that it almost had a hold on me, like, oh, are people going to be upset if I decide to go off and,
Mm.
pursue this, this different mission? And,
Mm-hmm.
what is it going to look like? Am I going to be forgotten back in my state? Like, are people just going to
Yes.
like not remember who at the time Captain McGee is? And is my family going to be upset? Just all these things were rushing through my mind. Like,
Mm.
I never have lived this far away from my family in my life. And I've always prided myself on being a family person and someone who's
Yes.
really integrated with my family. But then I had to say to myself, like, this is an opportunity. Coming to the National Guard Bureau is an opportunity that not every officer gets to do in
Sure.
their career. And the influence that is up at this level that you get to witness, that you get to work alongside,
Mm.
it pales into comparison into other roles that I've experienced in my previous
Yes.
portion of my career. And so I literally before, and it's crazy, before I even read this book, I had gotten to a point where I'm like, you have to do what's best for you. You have to do what's best for
Mm-hmm.
your legacy and for what you
Sure.
want out of life. And you just have to go for it. And I promise you, everyone and everything will be okay. And sitting here
Wow.
today, everyone and everything is more than okay.
That's
So,
really powerful.
yes,
Powerful.
yes.
Wow. Yeah, and I think one of your super fan here, they said something about you have to keep on shining. Let me see if I can find that really quick.
Thank
But minute, yeah, here she is. I'm sure you know. Destiny says you are working your purpose. Kia, keep shining. I think
you.
the problem for many of us is we feel like if we shine too bright, we are becoming almost like an obstacle to the people around us. But the truth
Mm,
is, you need to shine so that you can give other people permission that they might shine also. So it's
absolutely.
so powerful. Okay, Now, we've talked about all of your successes and all of the great things you are doing, but I know one of my best skipper gave me this coin, right? One side says success, the other side says failure. So success and
Mm,
failure being two sides of the same coin. Can you
right.
maybe share how failure may have shaped your life?
So I believe so I say this like I believe that because I always had the kind of personality to believe that like anything I say I can do or I
Hmm.
want to do, I can do it. So I actually felt like failure was a little bit more foreign to me than I could have than I
Yeah.
realized
Hmm.
until the military came along. And
Yes.
so I had succeeded at sports. I had succeeded at a lot of things previously in my life. And when I was joining the military, there were certain things that I had to pass in ROTC that I was not a first time go. I did not
Hmm.
pass. I probably didn't pass the second time. And on a
Yes.
couple of occasions, I didn't pass the third time. And so
Mm.
for me, that was a really definitive time period in my life because I wasn't
Yes.
as familiar with failure in that like to that degree. And
Hmm.
so it helped me one, I'm going to say it humbled me. It did humble me, which
Yes.
I think that every now and again we do need to be brought back down to reality.
Hmm.
But also that failure in me accomplishing those things eventually and actually
Yes.
succeeding, it helped me
Mm.
understand that sometimes failure is temporary. Sometimes failure means not now. So, and
Yes.
I say failure, it means not now. The door is not ready to be opened, or you're not ready or prepared for what's behind that door. And
Hmm.
so for me, the way that shaped my outlook is you're going to fail at things. It's okay. You're not the first
Wow.
person, you're not the last person, but some people often say God's redirection is sometimes your protection. And so that's how I
Hmm.
try to see
Wow.
failure. If I don't achieve something, if something doesn't go my way, I don't obtain something that I wanted to obtain, I see it as
Yes.
a redirection from God, honestly.
That's really powerful because earlier you talked about grit and resilience. Do you think failure may have built that grit in you where you just will
Oh,
not give up but find a way to eventually achieve your goal?
absolutely. I believe that grit, and I think this is kind of a transplant characteristic from my mother because my mother is a hard charger. My mother is someone who, like, she always instilled into me. Anytime I called her crying about something that I failed at or that I didn't do well on, she
Hmm.
was so nonchalant about it. She was like way less affected than I was. So she would be like,
Yes.
okay, and you're going to go back tomorrow and try again, and you're gonna go back tomorrow and
Yes.
try again, and you're gonna do it again. And it doesn't matter how many times I
Yes.
cried. She called me and she said, or we talked, and she said, and that's okay.
Yes.
So what? You go back and try again. And so I
Wow.
think after hearing that so many times, like, okay, I get it now. It's
Yes.
not a big deal. You just get up, brush yourself off, and you keep going.
Man, that's really powerful. Are you willing to share what is one of the greatest fear you've had to overcome in life?
One of the greatest fears I've had to overcome in life is the fear of not being good enough.
Hmm.
So the military will put you in situations where you do like you're surrounded by people who have done things 10 times of what
Yes.
you've done in your career. You get around people and you look at all of the accolades, you see the ribbons, you see the medals, and
Hmm.
like I said earlier about imposter syndrome, you kind of start to feel like wow, I don't know if this is the space I should be operating in. Do I belong
Yeah.
here? And I think that it's basically helped me like see like, hey, don't you have to block out the noise. You have to
Yes.
stop focusing on the to the left and the right of you.
Hmm.
You're here for a reason. Like
Wow.
focus on you, focus on your lane, run your race, and the rest is going to take care of itself. So
Wow. That is really, really powerful. Okay. If you could choose three people to have dinner with, right? They could be alive, dead, or even fictitious
ooh.
characters. Who would you choose and why?
Oh my gosh, I hate this question. I am so I literally am one of those people who I never follow the rules. I always have like 10 people, but if I had to pick
Okay, the
Three
top
people.
three, or at least maybe not the top three, but the first three that come to mind.
The first three that come to my mind who I would have dinner with.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, wow, wow. This is a good question. So, one I would say for sure would be Malcolm X. I
Mm-hmm.
would say Malcolm X would be someone that I would sit down with. Another one that comes to mind is General Powell. I would
Yeah.
definitely sit down with him. And I know for a fact that if I got the opportunity to sit down with President Obama, it would be like a no-brainer. So like
Yes.
just those like three coming to my mind, just that's what I
Yes.
got like off the cuff.
Powerful. Oh, all right. So you've already told us about the book "Let Them Theory," which I think everybody should read that one. What about this book? Why should my audience read "Becoming"?
Outside of it's Michelle Obama. It's just her story is another reminder to me. Like it doesn't matter like where you come from. It's
Mm-hmm.
about where you're going and what you're trying to achieve. Like
Yes.
who could even fathom? And I'm pretty sure maybe she had moments in her life that and that she speaks about in the book, like a girl from the south side of Chicago who
Mm-hmm.
went to and attended the universities that she's attended to now
Yes.
get to the point where you are the first lady of the first black president of the United
Yes.
States, which genuinely is just in itself making history. Um,
Yes.
those type of stories for me shows me what is attainable. Like I don't know if she ever saw I don't know if she truly when she was a
Mm.
young girl saw presidency, but I know that when she united with Barack and in their story in that book,
Yes.
it became very real to them. It became very real
Wow.
to them. So I think that if
Powerful.
you want an inspirational story about coming from very meager and humble beginnings
Yes.
and becoming who you are today or who you're trying to be in the future,
Mm.
that book is where it's at.
Powerful. Now, I know one of your favorite quotes by David Goggins is when he says, "You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential." So, why should people read this book? Can't Hurt Me, David
Because
Goggins.
one, he's intense and he's one of those people that literally when you listen to him, you feel like you're not doing enough. And for
Yes.
me, for a person who carries 10 things on any given day, he pretty much is like, yeah, so what? Like, why
Yes.
you can do that? You're built for this. Like, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions to
Mm-hmm.
get to become your greatest self. And so,
Mm.
what I think he does so well in this book is you have to literally get control of this so that
Yes.
you can start to affect your
Wow.
environment.
Powerful.
Once you
Powerful.
control this, there's nothing in your environment that you can't change, that you can't move. And like I said, your will has to be greater than what's in front of you. And so
Yes.
read that book if you want to get you're reading it's 10 o'clock at night and you want to feel like you can
Yes.
go run a marathon tomorrow, read that book. Like
That's
because
amazing.
nothing in this world can hurt you. Like you have to have the mind,
Well,
this can't hurt me, my past can't hurt me, people can't
hmm,
hurt me, what I don't know can't
man.
hurt me. Just it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me.
I think Love Belachel said it. Preaching. You are preaching, Major. That is powerful, powerful, powerful. So let me ask you this. Is there maybe a song or a book or even a movie that would be your life's theme or anthem?
So this movie is recent. Like I told you, we when we talked earlier, I have a list, but just so
Hmm.
me I could keep it simplistic.
Yes.
This is a more recent book, or I'm sorry, not book. It's a more recent movie.
Hmm.
Um, but I believe it embodies, in a way, kind of my life and just my
Yes.
career in itself. And it's the 6888. It's the
Hmm.
Tyler Perry movie. And if you know
Hmm.
anything about that movie, it talks about the struggles
Yeah.
of women in the military. And
Yes.
as a woman, myself, as a woman of color,
Yeah.
who has come from humble beginnings, a lot of those women came from beginnings where they did not have military personnel in their family. They just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to join something to be of a greater purpose, or some of them felt like they had to go. And
Yes.
the things that they endured, even while
Mm.
accomplishing such an amazing feat, like at the time they didn't know that they were making history. Like at the time they
Yes.
didn't realize what they were doing. And I believe like that movie truly embodies my struggles, the things that I've had to
Mm.
endure. But in the end of it all, I'm not done yet, and I know that
Yes.
there's something great coming at the end of this. I don't know if I'm gonna make history. I don't know what it's gonna look like,
That's
but
powerful.
it shows me that despite what people do to you, despite
Mm-hmm.
how people try to put obstacles in your way, what is for you is for you, and it's not going to
Yes.
stop it's not going to stop your greatness. So that
Wow.
movie 688, yeah.
Yeah, I think with Kerry Washington. Yeah, it's great, great movie. I believe it's still
Yes.
available on Netflix. So inspirational. Wow, that is powerful, powerful. Okay. Uh, well, it looks like we are already out of time. Can you give me 5 more minutes before
Yes,
we end?
absolutely, absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. Let me ask you this: if you had one and only one day to live, what would you have liked your final contribution to be?
Ooh, that's good. One day and one day only to live. I would say my final contribution, um, I believe that people, this is another quote, people don't like remember necessarily what
Mm-hmm.
you said. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily remember all of the things you did, but they remember how you made them feel. And so
Yes.
what I feel is leaving a legacy behind where people, when they think of my name, they think about the impact that was attached to my
Mm,
name. So it's not
powerful.
about, oh, she did this, she got this degree, she got this certificate. But man, I remember this one conversation I had with her. Man, I remember this
Yes.
one time she encouraged me. Man, I remember this one time no one knew what I was going through, but she was able to see
Mm,
me and she was able to speak to me in a way that was motivating. So honestly, my contribution of a legacy of making people feel seen, maybe making
yes.
people feel heard, making people feel
Mm,
understood. That is what
powerful.
I would like to be left. If whether what by whatever means that has come through, a past interaction, a
Yes.
past conversation, whatever means that comes through, that's what I would want, and
Well,
that's what I want to
I
leave
must tell
behind.
you, this is one of the loudest leadership and success podcasts I've ever had. So you've made a lot of people feel that way. They are
Oh,
here and they are really so grateful for you being a part of their life. And that really speaks volume. So let me ask you this. If you did have a magic wand, you could solve any problem in the world. What is the one problem you'd like to solve first thing tomorrow morning?
ooh, any problem in the world? Wow. Mm. I I mean, this is maybe a little bit more of an abstract problem, but
Hmm.
the if I could erase the hate in the world,
Yes.
like the hate for groups of people,
Hmm.
the hate for different ideologies, the hate for different
Yes.
mindsets, I would erase it. If we could
Mm.
all just see each other for who we are, like
Yes.
in here versus appearances,
Mm.
accolades, money, or any of that, I would erase I
Yes.
would I would erase hate. That's what
Wow.
I would
Powerful.
do.
Powerful, powerful. Yeah, I like to say 9/11 was a pretty bad day. It's really affected every member of my generation, part of the reason why I joined the Navy. But
Yes.
9/12 was one of the most glorious day of my life. It really meant something to be an American on September
Yes.
12th. It's incredible. And hopefully our country is going to find its way back there. Okay, so if
Yes.
you had the ear of every person of color, young woman of color listening to the podcast right now across America for the next 60 seconds, what would you tell them to do tomorrow morning?
Every person of color, tomorrow morning, get up, throw your head up, lift your chin up, stick your chest out, and strut and walk like you own the place. Walk
Wow.
like you know that you are who you are. You come from a lineage of amazing,
Hmm.
influential, impactful people,
Yes.
regardless,
Wow.
who have a history that is just amazing. So tomorrow when you get up, you embody that confidence, you embody
Hmm.
that knowledge, knowing that where you come from and who you come from is all the more to be more proud
Wow.
of what you are, who you are, and how you are. So be proud, walk into
Oh,
the room
right.
like you own it. Walk into
Man.
the room like no one can tell you anything. That's what I would tell them. You don't
My,
feel
my,
the
my, my.
lesser. You don't feel the lesser. You don't feel the least of them because you're not.
Wow, that is powerful. It's like we're having church on the Leadership and Success podcast today. You remind me of a great, late Dr. Reverend Jesse Jackson. And he used to say, I am somebody. And
I am somebody.
sometimes somebody needs to know that they are. So powerful. Okay,
Absolutely.
we are coming to the end. All good things need to come to an end sometimes. What can we do to add value back to you, Major McGee?
Honestly, you can follow me on social networks, follow me on LinkedIn, reach out. One thing I love to do, I love talking to people. I love having intimate conversations with people, especially when it comes to professional development, professional growth. Reach out to
Mhm.
me on LinkedIn, social media. I'm not necessarily a huge social media person, but I do use it very frequently. So if you want to
Nice.
just shoot me a message, you want to get to know more about my story, or any opportunities or anything like that, just please reach out, whether it be via LinkedIn, Facebook, or anything. If you type in my name, I'll come up in some shape, form, or fashion. Sir, you were
Yes.
able to find some pictures, so I know that it's not that hard
Yes.
to find me on the internet. But yes, if you want to add value to me, just
Mm,
present me opportunities with ways that I can help you, with ways that I can help you get to where you need to go, or to find
fantastic.
information that you need to find.
Well, thank you for being a light that shines in your community. Is there a question, Major, I should have asked you? I didn't get a chance to ask. Anything else you wanted to share on this podcast?
I think you asked me some really, really good questions. And I think that the only question I would have asked myself
Hmm.
is, like, what would I say to women who are serving, particularly because I am a woman of color, a woman of color who is currently serving and who may be in a space in their career where they feel like they don't know if this is what they still want to do. They don't know if
Hmm.
what they're doing is mattering, or they feel sometimes small in the space
Yes.
that they're in. And what I would say to that woman is, like, uh don't let don't let anyone, especially someone who cannot relate to your experiences, try to
Hmm.
define who you are.
Yes.
Oftentimes there are situations you're placed in where there's certain viewpoints or what have you that could be misconstrued about who you are, and it can sometimes feel defeating. Continue to show up as your best self. Arm yourself with the knowledge that you need.
Mm,
Arm yourself with people, like-minded people, who are going to lift you up and who are going to encourage you on a daily basis. And like a
mm,
few minutes ago, like, lift your chin up, stick your
yes.
chest out, and strut, because you do belong. So
Wow.
I know it gets hard. I know the days get tough. Some days are super discouraging as a woman, and you feel the weight of feeling sometimes not enough and not important. But that's a
Mm,
lie. It's not the truth. And like I said earlier, just get up, put one foot in front of the other, and go one
yes.
more. Just go one more.
That is really powerful, especially now. No, we can be frank about this. Our own Secretary of Defense doesn't believe that women belong in the military, which is completely wrong. Because I don't know how I would feel if I am part, of the armed forces, and then my own boss is telling me you don't belong here because you are not a white male Christian nationalist or whatever. So it really takes a lot of courage. But yes, thank you for saying what you are saying, because like we said, no, you are somebody, and
Yes.
you belong, and you do have something to give. So thanks so much, Major McGee. More common we have, people saying they're proud of you, your growth, continue to shine. Incredible. Can't wait for your book to drop. And by the way, yeah, Major McGee, you do have to write that book. People are waiting. So
Oh my
love you so much,
gosh.
sis. Incredibly proud to see you evolve
Thank
throughout the
you,
years.
thank you,
What
thank
an
you,
icon. Okay,
everybody.
to finish, if I can get just 2 minutes, it's gonna be really quick. Can we do a rapid fire? I will ask you a question, but you're gonna have to answer quickly. Okay, don't take too long to think. Okay, can we do it?
Okay, okay,
Okay.
I'll try.
All right. First one. What is one word that defines great leadership? One word.
Compassion.
Okay. What is your morning routine or practice that keeps you grounded?
Pray, workout.
Okay. A book or quote that changed your life?
Can't hurt me.
Okay. Who inspires you most today?
I'm sorry.
Who inspires you most today?
Who inspires me most today? Oh my gosh. Oh, so many people.
First person who comes to mind. It
First
looks like
person that
a
comes.
lot of people have mentioned your mother here. Let me see.
Yeah, you know what? I can always go with my mom. I can
Yes.
always go with my mom. Like literally, she inspires me every day. She is a person who also holds a lot of weight. She carries a lot of things
Yes.
on her plate. She is someone who has had to deal with me for
Yes.
the entirety of my life, and at times I know it could be a lot and overwhelming. So
Yes.
yes.
Wonderful, and also this is Women's History Month, so it's a great
Yes,
way
Women's
to
History Month.
honor women in your life. So, what is a leadership habit you refuse to compromise on?
A leadership habit I refuse to compromise on, and this is something my dad actually talks to me about, or has talked to me a lot about, and that's integrity.
Hmm.
Integrity.
Powerful.
I
Powerful.
refuse to compromise my integrity
Wow.
for anything.
Powerful. And what is a question every leader should ask themselves frequently?
A question I believe that every leader should ask themselves frequently is, am I giving the best that I can give? Every
Wow.
day, am
Okay.
I giving my best?
What did you want to be when you were a kid?
I actually wanted to be a basketball player, a WNBA basketball player.
Okay, I guess you kind of did that, right? When you were in high
Not
school.
quite, but
So,
close. I got a little close.
all right. What are three adjectives describing you as a child?
Busy.
Okay, two more. Two more.
I would say active,
Okay, one more.
and I would say fearless.
Okay, what about as an adult?
As an adult, resilient, compassionate,
One more.
and introspective.
All
Introspective.
right. So, if you could go back in time and give a piece of advice to your 17-year-old self, I guess you're about 16, 17 a year,
Hmm.
standing at the edge of this incredible career you've had, what would you say to 17-year-old Kia?
What I would say simply is, Kia, you may have not seen what it looks like to be
Hmm.
what you desire to be, and you may not know how you're going to get there, but just keep going.
Keep going. Wow, that is so powerful. I think you are one of the most inspirational person I've had on the show. I'm so glad you are here. So I'd love to end on a positive note. What is something you are feeling optimistic about?
My future. My future. I feel, even though I'm in my 30s, I'm gonna say that I'm in my 30s. I feel that there's so many things I have yet to accomplish
Hmm.
that I see myself accomplishing here in the near future. And I see myself achieving. It makes me
Yes.
excited every day to know that I haven't even scratched the surface.
Wow, that is so powerful. Okay, to end the show, the last question is: what is one word that represents our shared experience on this podcast today?
One word, I would say it's been like unifying. It's been very unifying. Just, it feels like we've fostered a safe space here, or you already have a safe
Yes.
space established, but it feels like we fostered a safe space, and we talked about some very vulnerable things, and then being able to have people who know me
Yes.
in person come in and share.
Yes.
It just feels like it's all from different parts of my life. Very
Yes.
unifying. Very
Well,
unifying. Yeah.
thank you so much, Major Rickia McGee. You've been
Thank
a
you,
master
sir.
teacher today. Really appreciate it. And
Thank
keep
you so much,
shining, like I
sir.
say. So I expect you to be a doctor next year and write that
Yes.
book. I'm gonna be.
Yes.
Well, once you publish your book, please come back. We're gonna talk about it. Maybe help you become
Absolutely.
a #1 best-selling author too. It's just amazing
Prayerfully
what you're
so.
doing.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So keep on shining. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All
All right,
right.
everybody. That was Major Rickia McGee. What a great lesson she has taught us. So, like you guys know, I decided Black History Month this year is just not long enough, 28 days. It's also the shortest month in the year. You have to think about that. But anyway, so we have a Black History Year on the podcast. So, one thing I want to share quickly, and you can read more on my LinkedIn profile. Let me share my screen here. Just something that happened on March the 10th, right? So I kind of have two vignettes for this. One is I look back in time, what happened in Black history today, March the 10th. So we're going to go back to March the 10th, 1865. Uh, if you can see my screen, okay, I believe you can now. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Again, celebrating Black history because we really do stand on the shoulder of giant. I really, truly believe that. For example, there wouldn't be a Commander Zinga if there weren't the Golden 13 in 1943, right, in the U.S. Navy. So the past is making it possible for me to be who I am today. But anyway, March 10, 1865, Confederate soldiers hanged Black women in Arlington, South Carolina. That was on March 10, 1865. And again, you can go to my post on LinkedIn and you can read more about that. What's really sad is this happened only like a month before the end of slavery in the US. But something a lot more joyful for Black History Year, I would like to celebrate Benjamin Banneker. He's actually the very first clock master in the US, astronomer, author of the first African American almanac. He was really a very incredible man. He was born in 1731, and he was the first clock. He made the first clock in American colonies and became the first African American to publish an almanac. He really had an extraordinary life in the time and period where that was just not possible. He was a self-taught mathematician, astronomer, surveyor, and investor whose brilliance challenged the assumption of his time and expanded the boundaries of science in early America. I wonder if Major McGee is a direct descendant of Benjamin Banneker. He was just an extraordinary man. So I am going to end the show by playing a 3-minute clip on the extraordinary life of Benjamin Banneker, who we honor today, and that's going to be the end of the show. And as we finish the show, please let us know in the comment 3 to 5 takeaways from this podcast and one thing you are going to put in practice this week. Okay, thank you so much, and see you tomorrow.
Benjamin Banneker can best be described as a mold breaker. He was born in 1731 in Ellicott's Mills, Maryland. As a child, he attended a Quaker school, one of the few institutes that offered integrated education, and he put what he learned into practice. At just 15, he developed an irrigation system for his family farm. When he was 21, a friend gave him a pocket watch, which he promptly took apart to figure out how it worked. But he was not simply satisfied by understanding the mechanism. He needed to make his own. So Banneker built his own clock from scratch. And it was so well engineered and the mechanism so precise that it struck on the hour, every hour, for the next 40 years. Banneker's clock gained him a reputation, catching the eye of a famous clockmaker, Joseph Ellicott. He helped Ellicott build a complicated clock, and in return, Ellicott loaned him scientific books and instruments for astronomical study. He taught himself everything there was to know about science and math, particularly astronomy. He began using what he learned to predict weather patterns and plan agricultural methods. He even predicted a solar eclipse in 1789, successfully contradicting many notable minds of the time. Seeing the practical applications of his work, Banneker began publishing Benjamin Banneker's Almanac in 1792, and it was a wild success. It contained information on weather patterns, farming practices, and was basically a how-to guide for agricultural life. The almanac also included political writings, such as a plan of a peace office for the United States, which caught the attention of Thomas Jefferson, and the two exchanged several letters. Banneker even implored Jefferson about the evils of slavery, advocating for abolition. When it came time for President Washington to appoint a commission to survey the site of the new capital, Washington, D.C., Jefferson made sure Banneker's name was on the short list. Banneker worked closely with French architect Pierre L'Enfant to plan the Capitol. But L'Enfant was notoriously difficult to work with and was known for his explosive temper. As a result, L'Enfant was dismissed from his post before planning could be completed. And in what could have been a devastating move, L'Enfant took a year's worth of the plans with him. Just when it seemed that the team would have to start from scratch, Banneker saved the day and the Capitol. In 2 days, Banneker recreated L'Enfant's designs entirely from memory. He redrew every street and stream and building, effectively saving the Capitol as we know it. Banneker died in 1806 at the ripe old age of 75. So next time you're in Washington, D.C., or the next time your dad refers you to the Farmer's Almanac for all the information you could ever need, remember that we owe that and so much more to Benjamin Banneker, the first African-American scientist.
Okay. All right. This is it for today. Thanks again for watching. And I just want to remind everybody I'm going to be back here tomorrow morning. I will be speaking to the one and only Lieutenant Commander Reuben Green. Is a former naval officer, retired. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to be speaking to Sergeant Stephen Kuhn. And he's going to be speaking to us. Again, he's a former sergeant, U.S. Army. So you don't want to miss it. Okay, thanks again for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If today's episode added value to your leadership journey, be sure to subscribe, share, and join us again for more wisdom nuggets on how to lead better and achieve greater success. Remember, leadership is the most critical skill of our time. The world will always need leaders to inspire others, drive innovation, and execute meaningful strategy. So why not count yourself among the bold leaders shaping the 21st century? Until next time, stay inspired, stay committed, and keep leading with excellence.